In the Triassic period, the Earth was very different from what we know today. This era marked the beginning of the Mesozoic era, which also includes the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. The Triassic began approximately 251 million years ago, shortly after the end of the Permian period, and extended until about 213 million years ago. During the Permian, the planet exhibited a diversity of climate zones, including tropical forests, deserts, temperate climates, and polar regions. During this period, the entire land surface was part of a single supercontinent called Pangaea. Pangaea was inhabited by peculiar creatures such as synapsids, which included ancestors of modern mammals like gorgonopsids, powerful carnivores, and dicynodonts, slow and peaceful herbivores. Furthermore, the Permian saw the disappearance of the famous trilobites, and even insects did not escape this mass extinction. The causes of this extinction remain a mystery but may be related to an extremely destructive volcanic eruption in Siberia. Volcanic ash covered the sky for an extended period, blocking sunlight. When sunlight finally returned, the world had changed dramatically. From this point on, reptiles began to dominate the planet for millions of years, replacing the synapsids. In the Triassic, Earth was still united in Pangaea, but geological faults were already starting to appear, which in the early Jurassic would lead to the definitive separation of this massive supercontinent. Pangaea, seen from space, would no longer appear as a single block as geological divisions began to form. In the transition from the late Triassic to the early Jurassic, a significant change in the Earth's configuration occurred. Pangaea, which was already in motion, split into two major continents called Laurasia and Gondwana. This division is clearly visible in the geological record of the time. The climate during this phase was characterized as very dry and considerably warmer than in the Permian. It is believed that oxygen levels in the atmosphere increased from about 15% to 19% around 215 million years ago, although it was still scarcer than today. In this context, gigantic creatures emerged. In the early Triassic, life was already recovering from the Permian mass extinction, and the largest survivors belonged to the group of archosaurs. These beings, resembling crocodiles, evolved from Permian ancestors with long faces. Their descendants, called rhynchosaurs, thrived during the early Triassic but were later surpassed by a more advanced species. It was also during this period that the first authentic dinosaurs appeared, such as Eoraptor, a relatively small but highly agile predator that likely outpaced its slower and sturdier relatives in hunting prey. By the end of the Triassic, giants among dinosaurs emerged, including the phytosaur, a semi-aquatic predator with armor, and the most prominent of them all, Smilosukis, a giant crocodile that could reach an impressive 12 meters in length. Another notable creature was the fierce Herosaurus, which was approximately 7 meters long and closely resembled our typical image of a dinosaur today. As the late Triassic came to an end, dinosaurs solidified their dominance, winning the evolutionary competition against other groups of reptiles and making it clear that they would soon rule the planet. This significant period in Earth's history paved the way for the rise of dinosaurs in the Jurassic. In the Triassic, the diversity of dinosaurs was remarkable, with representatives of both carnivores and herbivores. The largest herbivore of this period was Plateosaurus, which inhabited the European region and could reach an impressive 12 meters in length. But dinosaurs were not alone. Other herbivorous reptiles, although smaller, were also fascinating. The rhynchosaurs, a group that included small and charming lizards like Hyperodapodon, had teeth similar to rodents. Reptiles were not restricted to land, as they also ventured into the water. It was in the Triassic that beings that fed on fish and even hunted each other first appeared, such as ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs. Moreover, there were even stranger marine reptiles, like Tanystropheus, which had a neck twice as long as its body. In freshwater regions, giant amphibians were the main competitors of reptiles, but by the end of the Triassic, they had already gone extinct. However, a mystery persists regarding Protoves, a strange terrestrial creature that inhabited the latter half of the Triassic. Possessing a beak filled with sharp teeth, wings, and feathers, although it could not fly. Archaeopteryx, which lived in the Jurassic long after, is considered the first bird, but the true nature of Protoves has not been fully revealed. Some paleontologists believe Protoves may have been an ancestor of birds, while others argue for the superiority of Archaeopteryx. The question of whether Protoves was a completely different species or a chimera still intrigues experts. Nevertheless, the apex of the Triassic belonged to therapsids, which, although dealt a blow in the Permian extinction, were more advanced than reptiles in evolutionary terms but were sidelined in nature for a time. However, therapsids did not give up. True mammals are believed to have first appeared during the Triassic, descending from the late Permian cynodonts, a small group of therapsids that were luckier than others and escaped extinction. Currently, all mammals are classified as cynodonts, that is, therapsids. In the early Triassic, there were beings that, although sharing similarities with mammals, are not classified as such. An example is Thrinaxodon, a fox-sized predator with an appearance reminiscent of a stoat. During this period, there was also the herbivore Aramida. However, the late Triassic ended with a significant extinction event. Many plants that had thrived since the Carboniferous, such as tree ferns and lycophytes, disappeared. Furthermore, giant amphibians and virtually all amorphous archosaurs that were not dinosaurs, as well as most therapsids, except for the Morganucodonts, also went extinct in a relatively short period, in less than 10,000 years. The causes of this extinction are still a mystery, with theories ranging from changes in atmospheric composition due to drastic climate change to geological cataclysms. Everything is still uncertain. We've also made a video discussing what the Earth would be like after the dinosaurs, so be sure to check it out. Stay with God and go watch.